I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing another Robert B. Parker novel, God Save the Child. It's book number 2 in the Spencer series. Maybe you saw my review of book number 1, the Godwolf manuscript. These books, there's like 39 or 40 Spencer novels in the series now. I'm going to be reading them all, reviewing them all. They're all starring the private investigator in Boston, Massachusetts, named Spencer. I'm telling you, the dude's a badass. You know, we always review the covers. Here we go. Let's review this cover. You know, we reviewed, I said there's 39 books, and 440 somewhat. I brought a few of them down here. They're right here. You can see they're not very large books. Here's the first book that I reviewed earlier. Here's this one. And let's talk about the covers. You know we always review the covers and the graphic design. This one was no good. This one's even worse. God Save the Child. The cover is horrendous. I have no offense to the people that put this together. And I know they put it together in the early 90s when Photoshop was a brand new program for your computer. And so you Photoshopped this bullshit, put it together, and thought you were on the cutting edge. Man, does it not hold up well. Oh my lordy. I give the graphic design so far. The covers of these are absolute dog shit. I mean, a junior high school kid today, on his own iPad, could do this. Anyway, enough of that. Our main man, Spencer. On the back, we've always got a picture of Spencer. Okay, this is the author. Whenever I read about the Spencer investigator, though, I always picture this author as the main character with his big brooding look and his sunglasses and his badass attitude and his Doberman Pinscher. That's what I picture our main private and guest investigator Spencer is. And so here's this book number 2. Came out in 1974. As you know, book number 1 that came out in 1973, oh my gosh, the unpolitically correct stuff that was crammed into that novel was astonishing. Go watch my review of that if you want to have a laugh. This one, it toned down quite a bit. I mean, Spencer is still a wisecracking dude. He's still the most badass guy. He's like Jack Reacher. He's the most badass, wisecracking dude in any situation he's in. His mouth always gets in him trouble, but his mouth ain't that kind of bad in this book. It's not as cutting and biting as in the first book, although he's still pretty witty. Still pretty witty, and for you writers out there, if you want to learn how to set up a scene and a conflict and characters, just read the opening scene where the man and wife, they're kind of rich people, they come into Spencer's private investigative office and they said, hey, our kid has gone missing. We think he might be kidnapped. The police tell us he's just run away, but we need you as a private investigator to figure it out. And just that opening scene where Spencer is viewing this couple, this 1970s couple, and there's a little politically incorrect dialogue happening between the husband and wife as they argue and have a little spat in front of Spencer right when they're trying to describe the situation of their missing boy. Spencer's already like, okay, these people don't get along. These people hate each other. Wouldn't surprise me if the little boy just ran away. But if you want to learn about character building and writing and how to place two characters in front of your viewpoint character and have your viewpoint character view those two people and come up with his own conclusions about who those people are, at the same time he's telling you about who he is as the viewer, and Robert B. Parker paints a beautiful picture of all three characters in this scene, this opening scene, where they're like, hey, our son is missing, will you help us find him? And then they get into a massive argument between each other, and Spencer's just like, man, these people are out of their minds. These people are crazy. But he agrees to help them anyway because he doesn't want the kid to have been kidnapped if that's possible. Well, he does the investigation. He finds out, well, the kid's guinea pig is also missing. So either the kidnappers took the kid plus the guinea pig, or the kid ran away and only took his guinea pig with him. So there we are on our mystery. That's pretty much the mystery, and I won't get into any more of the plot than that, because to give any more than that would spoil it. Let's just say Spencer, our main man, in book number 1 here, not only did he sleep with the hippie teenager, 18-year-old college student, but he slept with the teenager's mother. Now, in this book, he meets another gal, and he sleeps with her. So he's like to James Bond. I mean, he's like, the first 2 books, he's already bedded 3 chicks. And I know it happens in there's 40 books, there's some, that's like, do the math, that's a lot of, I mean, this dude is getting some wang tang poon tang. If you know what I'm saying. That's a 1970s rock and roll reference right there. This dude is getting some stuff, man. He is breaking all the rules, all the police policies. You're not supposed to sleep with every single person that's a female that you interview in a investigative case. But yet he does. But that's why, guys, that's why you love to read books by people like Robert B. Parker, because they break all the rules, they break all the social conventions, they're not politically correct, and they don't give 2 fucks what you think about it. Probably because they wrote this in the 70s, and in that day and age, nobody did. But now, this would never, these books would never get published now. Oh, the sensitivity reader that the publishers hire would be like, no, scratch that. He can't say that funny thing. No, that's going to offend everybody. Oh, that offended me. Oh, that offended my cousin. No, we got to get rid of it. But, this one's toned down certainly from the first one, but, come on, man. Our main man, Spencer, man, he's a ladies' man. And the author don't care. The author don't care how misogynist that comes off. I didn't like the second book as much as the first book. I've read these all a long time. I've been collecting these since the early 90s. I've read them all. I'm just rereading them for the channel. I gave this one a decent review. This one's going to get about a 7 out of 10. Slightly better than average for a book. And I can't wait to get to the rest. So tune in, folks.